Uh, Congratulations on merge, Sienna. How are you feeling being in the top 10 of this game?
I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to make it this far just because I got kind of busy earlier in the week and I wasn't sure if my activity would push the others to want to eliminate me or anything. But I'm happy I made it this far. So.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Bethany told me, because you guys know each other in real life, that you do not know Survivor at
I
all.
don't. I don't. I've seen this one show where I'm not even sure what season, what anything, but some guy had an idol and he found out somehow that everybody was playing him off and then he played it and then everybody voted for him, like every single person voted for him except for like himself, obviously. And that's the only thing I've ever done on Survivor.
Well, I mean, that's just one of the aspects of it. How have you so not knowing much and only knowing bits like clips that you've seen? How has it been being a part of it? Do you understand it more? Is it still kind of like you're just having fun? Like, what's your opinions now that you're in a version of it?
I'm having a lot of fun. I'm definitely gonna start like watching at least a few episodes, just to see what the real show is like. But I've learned a lot about it. But I have a lot of people, talk strategy in our alliance chats and in our tribe chats, and so sometimes they'll be talking about ways to um, eliminate certain people or like make sure that certain people move further than others. And I really I don't get it. And other people will comment and be like, "Oh, that's really smart." And I'm just like, whatever you guys are cool with.
So, do you think, with your knowledge of the game so far, that have you, first of all, have you told a lot of people that you really don't know the game, or have you just kind of like let the game happen?
I've kind of just let it happen because um that I picked up on fast was the fact that you never know who you can trust. So once I kind of got comfortable with a few people, I told them that I didn't know what I was doing. But a lot of, I would say a fair majority of the people don't know that I've like never seen a legit episode or anything like that.
Yeah. Do you think that now I haven't, I've always been a Survivor fan and I have participated in games. So my lens of what is good and bad is different than someone who hasn't competed and who doesn't know the game as well, because you just haven't watched it. Do you think that potentially that helps you because you're not going to be perceived as someone who needs to be eliminated for being a threat with the knowledge of the game? Or do you think that could hurt you because you don't know, so you might not be as, valuable for talking strategy? I'm not saying that you're invaluable, but there's just two different sides to look at it. So what do you think?
I think it has the potential to hurt me if I go about it incorrectly because for me, I know I overthink things a lot. So I was, one of the people that are hardcore fans and really wanted to be like the winner. Not saying that I don't. Like it would be really cool if I could win. It's just that I know that I don't have as great of a chance as some other people. But because I overthink, I know that if I did know the show really well, my experience is a lot more stressful. So I'm having a lot of fun right now.
Which is extremely important. I would say that fun is what makes the game worth playing. Obviously, if you're a fan of it and you know the strategy and you understand the ins and outs of what's smart and not smart and good and what's bad, that's a big aspect. But I know even when I've played, getting to know people and communicating with people I've never met before, like those things end up being really fun. I mean, it's how I became such good friends with Bethany. And I've met other people that I still talk to. I mean, people from season one will just message me and they're like, "Hey, you want to play Fortnite?" And I'm like, "No, but it was cool that you offered it." Just stuff like that. It's just like the fun aspect of it. And then there's a game on top of it. And so the fact that you're having fun makes every good or bad thing that happens a little easier. Um,
Yeah.
since you're not a hardcore fan, if anything bad happens to you, whether it's a partner gets eliminated or you get eliminated, whatever happens in the future, it's probably not going to sting as much because the weight of being a fan of the game isn't there. So it might help you go about different things in a different way. You mentioned something earlier about being able to trust people enough to tell them that you're not a fan of the show. Who in this game of the other 9 people would you say that you trust the most? It could be 1 or 2 or 3 people or whatever.
So probably Minty, and like he's the definite. I trust him more than the majority of the cast because he was one of the people. A few people reached out to me, individually when we first found out who whose tribe we were on, and so we talked for a little bit then, and then Liv also reached out to me, and so did Grace and Harlan a little bit. So those were the first few people that I really got talking to. But Minty has been the most like helpful to me because we kind of discussed how sometimes we get busy and sometimes we don't know if we're going to be able to play or not, and how that affects whether or not people are going to want to limit us. So that was something. Yeah.
Yeah. Based off of, again, how you've played, and you've only been to a couple tribal councils?
I've
One?
only been to one
Okay.
actually.
Which one was that again? Was that that was the last one?
The Yes, I believe. Well, no, no, no. The one right before the cipher one.
Oh, so when Jessica was out.
Yeah.
Um, so your first tribal council, was there ever, that's the first tribal council you were ever a part of, ever experienced in that way? Were you afraid that you were going to see your name come up, or were you just kind of like letting it all soak in?
Um, I was kind of afraid that I would because I hadn't participated in that challenge. I didn't get the chance to, but I did my phone by me so I could read the chats because if I have to catch up and then scroll all the way back, like I hate doing that. So, I try to keep up to date with at least what's going on in the main cast chat. And I saw that like a few people had noticed that I had seen the chat, hadn't like done anything for the challenge, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah. And like I never am upset about inactivity. I just want to make sure that people are, because sometimes you don't even see like, oh, there's a challenge now or whatever. But so I don't, the one person who was voted out in that challenge was one of the 2 people who were active in the challenge. So I guess you can never be for sure about what is more helpful or more hurting to you. Um, and I'd say you are one of many who have had moments of inactivity because life happens. There's times where all of a sudden, like I offered up these Zoom confessionals at 1 today, and I was busy until 1:30. So like, there's just stuff that happens, and you just got to live with it, and you got to have fun. And you're here now. I guess at this point, because I have some people in line, and I've enjoyed hearing everything you had to say so far. The only other thing I kind of want to know, and I don't know if you've even thought about it so much, but is there anything like you want to have happen in the game so far? Like, is there anybody you kind of want out that, a move potentially that you would want to help be a part of? Or are you comfortable with like listening to what people are saying and making sure you're in a good group that way?
I'm comfortable. I I I hope that I don't get thrown like out of the loop I because I don't know that much about strategy. I've been kind of hanging on to other people's because they trust me enough to allow me into their alliances and give me information. But if somehow they pick up on the fact that maybe I'm no help, then I'm gonna be the one thrown out, and then they're gonna start like plotting against me.
Yeah. And it's a fine line to walk in a game like this where you have no idea what other people are thinking, and some people are calculated, some people are emotional, some people just don't care, and so you have no idea who you're talking to and when you say it and what it means. So it's fun. I can, if you have anything else you want to say or ask, you can do that right now before I kind of close it out.
Um, not anything specific.
It's perfectly acceptable. I appreciate you playing a lot. I'm happy you're here. I
Thank you.
love the diversity of people who know the game versus people who don't. Like that's awesome to me. Seeing somebody make it far and the way that they think about the game, like that type of diversity in Survivor is awesome to me because it's just if you had all super fans, it would just kind of feel like a lot. And so the fact that it ranges is just so much fun as a host to see how everyone coincides. And so I thank you for participating. No sweat about any inactivity. You haven't even been close to some other people who haven't been here a lot, and so
Oh wow.
don't even worry about it. I appreciate everything you put in. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I love doing this, so it's worth my time. All right, I will see
Cool.
you later. Challenge
Yeah.
is that you said you probably be able to make the challenge.
Yeah. I
Um,
might be able to